I got tagged again. I love getting tagged. Tag videos are just so much fun. I got tagged by Vidja Gamer. He has an awesome channel. Go check it out. I love his most recent video where he did a demonstration of the Mario Dance Dance Mix game on the GameCube. I said he should have called it Metal Mario with the music that he used for it. He said, "Oh, should have used that title." So fortunately he didn't, but he's got a great channel and he tagged me in a video. And this is such a cool video. I love this idea. And it is the 3 cool items in your video game collection. I have a lot of cool stuff in my collection, or at least in my opinion, I have a lot of cool stuff. And this was really hard to narrow it down to just 3 items. I mean, even my artwork here behind me, I think that's really cool. A lot of people really like comment on that. My wife made that. That didn't make the cut. Lots of artwork on my walls that is really cool. The World of Nintendo figures are pretty cool, but I think I narrowed it down to 3 really good pieces of my collection. Piece number 1 is the #1 edition of Nintendo Power Magazine. Now this isn't mine, original one I should say, when I was a kid. My wife, when I started getting back into collection, she bought me the last issue of Nintendo Power that came out, and for Christmas for 1 year she surprised me with the very first issue. Overall it's in pretty decent shape, a couple folded edges up in the corner here, but it's just such a cool piece of history to have with regards to Nintendo. I'm Nintendo Hodge. It's a shame they don't make these anymore, but I have #1. I have the very last one. I don't even remember what number of issues they went through, and I probably won't ever collect any other ones unless they're given to me. But these ones, just the beginning of something so cool, all the tips to help beat the games out of these, and this one covered Super Mario Brothers 2. Probably my favorite Mario on the original Nintendo, but shh. Just, it's a shame they don't have these anymore, just for the pictures and the artwork and everything else that's in there. So that's cool item #1. Cool item #2, I actually just picked literally before I started to shoot this, and it is my Pokemon N64. I know not a lot of people are the fan of the N64, and even myself, you know what, it doesn't really hold up to when I was a kid, but it does hold a lot of nostalgia to me. I never owned this one as a kid. I picked it up more as a collector, and it's just such a cool piece. Pikachu, his cheeks light up here when the system's on. His reset button actually doesn't work, but that's okay. And the Pokeball is the power switch to turn it on and off. And then the controller, I mean, it's got the Pokemon on the top here and the color scheme. And when I got this thing, it was in mint condition. I bought it off a collector that was needing some extra cash at the time, so he was getting rid of it. I think this is just a really cool piece to have in a collection, especially with how crazy popular Pokemon is right now. So this is my second entry into my cool items. My third item ended up being a game, and the reason I picked this game is it's a very expensive game. It's a game that has a cult following / nostalgia following to it, that the game never was popular when it was released until after the fact, and it's a really good game. I have yet to beat it, but I will one day. And that game is Earthbound on the Super Nintendo. And I don't think I finished my reasons, but the third reason is there's a really cool story behind this Earthbound. I've told it before, some of you may have heard it. When I got this copy of Earthbound, I knew it was a game that I really wanted to get. I didn't want to pay the high price tag, and this was a game that's about 2 or 3 years ago now. And I was checking local ads, and actually I think it was my wife that found the local ad, and it was in Sudbury, which is about 3 hours away from us, but we have family up there and we visit all the time. And somebody had this listed that they were looking to get rid of it, and so we contacted them, tried to find out what they were interested in, and it turned out that they really wanted a PS3. So the next step after that was scouring local ads to try to find a cheap PS3. And lo and behold, we ended up getting a PS3 with a controller hookups, and I think at the time we paid $80 for it. Contacted the guy back and said, tell you what, We got this PS3, we'll do the trade. And this whole time when we're contacting this guy, we thought he was just somebody fake, somebody trying to troll us. We didn't think it was going to turn into anything. But the guy said, yeah, I'll do that deal. I want you to toss in a game for me. So we tossed in Little Big Planet. I took it out of my own collection, tossed Little Big Planet in. So PS3, it cost us $80. I think it was $80. Little Big Planet, controller, hookups. So we were planning on going to Sudbury in a couple weeks, and the guy said, no problem, I'll hold it for you, we'll meet up then. Still, this whole time we're going up there, I'm like, you know what? This is going to fall through. This has got to be a joke. There's no way this guy's going to do it. And we ended up meeting up with him. Went to his house. He actually owned 2 copies, and that's why he was getting rid of it. He opened it up, showed me the board inside of it, showed me that it worked on a system. He was a really, really nice guy, and he was just so happy to have the PS3 so he could play it. He couldn't afford to go get one, but being able to trade it at the time towards it, he was happy enough to do that, especially coming back to a collector who's going to keep it in their collection and play it and enjoy it. So Marcel, if you do ever see this, I just want to thank you very much for making that deal for me. We still chat every now and again on Facebook. Him and his girlfriend are really nice people. We met them a couple other times outside of ever since I made this deal. It just, that shows the love that collectors have and how awesome this community is that somebody would do that for somebody like me. Thanks again, Vidja Gamer, for tagging me. I had fun making this video. Really got the wheels turning inside, trying to look through my collection going, well, this is kind of cool, this is cool, and narrow it down. Like I don't have the list here, but I have, oh, here it is, right here. I literally made a list of stuff, wrote it down here in my little handy dandy notebook. And I kind of went through the list and said, am I going to choose this? Am I going to choose that? But I narrowed it down to 3. Thank you for tagging me. Now I need to tag some people. I'm going to tag just 2 people, technically 3 people for my video. The first dual tag is Mr. and Mrs Q Dawg, Eric and Melissa. Part of the reason why I'm tagging you is Eric's got to have some awesome stories on the stuff that he's got. So I want to hear the 3 cool items that are in your collection and the stories behind it. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Buster Douglas might be one of those. And the second person I'm going to tag, or now the third, is Retro Power Up. He's got an awesome channel. He's been on YouTube for over a year now. His videos are awesome because he shows you the games that he gets, and he does normally up here, I'll put a little video of what the game is, and he gives you details on the game. So if you've never seen the game before, you can kind of judge whether it's something you like. So Retro Power Up and Mr. and Mrs Q Dawg, you've all been tagged. So everybody go check out their channels because their channels are awesome. I don't need to tell you that. Let's see 3 items in your collection that are cool. Thanks again, everybody, and remember, game on, game often.